First and foremost, Black Lives Matter. Right now, we need to listen to those who have been targeted by this system and amplify their struggle and their voices. We have listed resources and donation links in the description below. Thank you. Cryptozoology is, by its very nature, elusive. Thus, we cannot say that we are exactly bringing you the facts, but we will do our best to help you see these mythical legends as we do. So sit back, relax, and wait. What's that behind you? Never mind. Enjoy the show. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Cryptids on Cryptids. I'm Martin.
I'm Sid. This is episode 7, lucky number 7, and we're doing the Ozark Howler today. Marty, I ran into the most peculiar problem when doing my research for this cryptid. The Ozark Howler has a lot of entries in the phone book for names.
Okay.
Because, usually when you go and you look it up, you're like, alright, it's the Mothman, or, it's Nessie, the Loch Ness Monster. You get one or two names. The Ozark Howler has the Ozark Howler, the Ozark Black Howler, the Nightshade Bear, the Devil Cat, and the last one is the Hoo-Hoo.
The Hoo-Hoo.
The Hoo-Hoo.
Wait, Sid?
Yes.
Am I hearing this right?
You are.
The Hoo-Hoo.
You are. Like
the band twice.
H-O-O.
Oh.
H-O-O.
Not like the Who.
Not like the Who. No. Not quite.
Wait, is it the Pokemon Ho-Oh?
No.
Oh.
No, not quite. It's not a bird, and it's certainly not very colorful, but...
Oh.
And at first I was like, oh, the hoo-hoo, maybe it'll reference the sound that this creature makes. It doesn't. Spoiler alert. Hoo-hoo reminds you of, a pigeon, or an owl, perhaps.
Yeah.
No, unfortunately not.
Uh-oh.
No. This thing sounds like... So first off, for the breakdown. The Ozark Howler is a creature that kind of lives in the middle of the woods of the Ozarks, and kind of, spans the area from southern Missouri.
So it is like the show, the TV show, Ozark. I think that one's about drugs or something. I don't think it's actually a lot like the show.
I have never seen that show. I'm so sorry.
It's on Netflix. It's about, I don't know. It's about drugs and some guy who laundered money.
Oh.
It's not a great... not a great show. I was going to say, it's an okay show.
Well, no. This creature lives in the woods of the Ozarks, so not the Ozark TV show, which spans
the Ozark TV show does take place in the woods of the Ozark.
It does, but
it does.
Not to be confused with the Ozark Howler, who also lives in the woods of the Ozark. But
I really hope they put him into the show. It'd make the show better.
Would be cool. He is said to be an omen of death. So it's a dark show. He'll fit right into that grim dark theme.
So you hear woo-hoo, and then you die.
You don't. You hear okay. So it doesn't make the hoo-hoo sound. It is roughly the size of a bear with super stocky legs, an absolute unit of a lad with black shaggy hair, think border collie, and prominent horns.
And horns?
Horns.
Horns.
Not quite like ram's horns, but low kind of horns. Not like a deer.
So this boy is horny for some death. Is that fitting to say? Can I say that?
Yeah, I guess you can. I can't stop you legally.
Free speech and all that, yeah.
No. Well, I mean, he might be. I don't know. He's never gored anybody before. There's no recorded injuries. He just kind of shows up and then people die if they see him.
Well,
According
has
to
he ever? He's not gored anyone, but has he ever? Has he? Has he ever vored anyone?
uh, also no.
Because that
Uh,
wouldn't leave as much of a trace, would it?
no, they would be gone. No, there haven't been any like disappearances or anything recorded. I can't believe this. Has he ever bored anyone? They'd be gone. Well, yeah, I suppose they would be. Like, I guess you're right.
I don't know. Woods have a lot of disappearances. Maybe one
They
or two.
do.
Maybe one
I
or
mean,
two people just gulped right down.
yeah,
Maybe a couple. You don't know. I don't know.
I don't
Certainly not.
know, but I can tell you this thing sounds like. So the noise it makes. So at first I thought like who's a reference to the noise it makes. It's not. The cry is supposed to sound like a cross between a wolf howl, an elk's bugle, and a hyena's laugh. So
You know, I'm really out here for the bugling elks, just announcing their presence as they come. You know, I love elks with a good
yeah,
bugle.
that is what it's called though. Their little cry instead of it's
Yeah,
like lions roar, wolves howl, dogs bark, elks bugle, which is
elks bugle. I just love that.
oh, just bugle. They just go.
I just imagine. I just love the image of an elk with a bugle. Elk with a bugle. That's the cryptid we're covering next week.
That really does just sound like an indie band, doesn't it?
Elk with a bugle. Oh my god!
Elk with a bugle
Actually,
sounds like an indie band.
sick band name.
Elk bugle, right up there with walking on eggshells. But it sounds like that, which is just absolutely horrifying. First off, to imagine the sound this creature would make.
Yeah, no. When I heard the Ozark Howler, initially what I imagined was like a howler monkey, but bigger.
Yeah,
And
that's
this
kind of what
doesn't
I was
seem like
thinking.
that at all. It doesn't seem like a howler monkey, but bigger at all. It seems like some wolf demon bear,
Yeah,
I
it does.
guess, and it just screams like I don't know.
See, the thing that sticks out to me on this is that, like, every place that I researched would mention just the absolute size of this lad. Like, they were like, it's huge. It's just
Just
massive.
absolute fucking unit.
Just a big, big boy.
It's like
And
you're just like they've got a story about him. They're just like, all right, so this absolute fucking lad was out in the woods, and we
just
saw him
this.
for like 10 seconds, and then Bobby died. Bobby just died. I don't even know, man.
Bobby died and Jake's gone. Like,
And
they
Jake's
ate Dave.
gone. Gone, dude. Gone. This thing screamed like hell or high water, and then they were just dead. Jake's gone. I think
It
he
opened
bored
its
him.
mouth and Jake just gone off
I
the face
think
of the earth.
I think he bored him. I think he's horny for it.
Like the jaw just unhinges and it just crunches right down, just right on
I
down.
really enjoy the fact that pretty much every cryptid we've talked about, we've gotten to the point where we're like, its jaw just unhinges and it swallows a manhole.
Well, yeah, because like you get a whole bunch of
We do
weird
talk about that a
disappearances.
lot.
We do, but like it would explain why so many people just go missing in the woods. You know, like
Yeah,
creature just crunches them whole. Just like cryptid comes out of nowhere, just swallows them right up, and they're gone.
yeah, just
Poof.
eats them. Yeah, that'd be a rough way to go, huh?
I really would imagine that would be hard. Also, because this thing
Unless
is
you're
said to.
into it, and I'm not kink shaming you.
No, we don't do
No,
that here.
we don't do that here.
We don't do that here.
But it for me, it'd be a very
We do
rough way
have
to
to
go.
say, for your own safety, though, do not attempt to go into the woods with that intention for the Ozark Howler. Don't do it.
Yeah,
Don't.
he
For
may be
legal reasons.
he may have horns, but that doesn't mean he's horny for you.
Consent is important.
Yes. Look, he's just not going to
But
show up. But
he
you know,
will. He's said to like. There haven't been any like super recent sightings,
I
but
don't
like
know.
No, like you don't get recent sightings because a lot of the people who have said to have like seen this thing just die.
Oh.
Like that's the problem.
Wait, like
Is
how long is this timetable between when they see him and when they die?
um it varies because like
Hmm.
there's no really record of like sees the creature and then like I don't have those hospital records, I guess, but
Sees
I
the creature, then perish.
like I don't have that database to pull from, but
Do you
I
think it looks
do.
like this bear thing with horns, but like it's just got those like Obama meme eyes, and it's just like then perish.
It has red eyes. I was gonna mention that it has red
Oh,
glowing eyes.
wow. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, right on the meme,
yeah.
right on the money.
So just then perish. Like I felt kind of bad for this thing because like you read about it, you know, and with Nessie, people are like, oh, it's just like a big lizard, or with like British big cats, like oh, it's just like a puma or something. No one has any idea on what this thing is because it's just so messed up as far as like
It's
the
wonky.
body parts it has doesn't make any sense for like what it is, you know, or the sounds it's making. So like the leading theory is that it's just a really messed up mountain lion. It's just a
Ooh,
really messed up mountain lion.
really? Just kind of funky mountain lion.
Like a mountain lion tried to crossbreed with something and it just didn't go great.
Didn't. Oh man, this one didn't go. Oh no,
Like
this
it's
one didn't
I don't
go.
know. Like it just didn't go real good.
I'm kind of still caught
Uh
up on the like wolf howl, but also a hyena laugh. That's I don't know
that
why, but
terrifies
that
me.
particularly is like freaking me. Like, what would that even sound like?
I imagine it's like a howl, but midway through it cuts off and then kind of like crackles.
I don't
You
like
know?
that. I don't like that it. I don't like. I feel like it because hyena laughs do sound like human laughs. So like,
They
what if
do.
you were like you heard a wolf howling and you're like, oh no, some wolves, and then like midway through the howl, it just starts laughing like
Start
a human
laughing.
man. Ugh,
Yeah, I
that
always
gives me
imagine
the
like almost
heebie-jeebies.
yeah, like almost like a sinister kind of movie villain cackle where you go like
Yeah,
a yeah.
I don't like that.
Uh,
Hey, Sid,
you
I
will
don't like
have
that.
to. You will have to at some point enter in that elk's bugle because you can't forget to just scream.
Oh, also the bugle. Yeah,
Because an elk's bugle isn't like a wolf's howl sounds kind of regal. You know, you get that and it's like, wow, like that's nature sounding. And you hear an elk make a bugle and you're like, wow, that's
that's a
obnoxious.
human screaming.
Yeah, it's just like that's a person. That's a human person screaming in the distance.
Do you think elk and goat are related? You think so? Because they both have that like kind of scream.
Um, like biologically, I mean, at least a little bit.
I mean, maybe this thing's like Goat Man. You know, like maybe Goat Man tried to do with a mountain lion, and this
Don't
is what
like that at
happened.
all. Don't like that at all. I don't think
Yeah,
that's gonna go real great.
I don't know.
Like, okay, so
I'm
messed
sorry.
up
This
mountain lion
episode's just
is
going
like
somewhere, and I don't like it.
is like yeah. No, it's all good.
My mind's in a trash can right now. Don't worry about it.
Just pick your brain up and throw it right in the garbage. Just yep, absolutely.
Yeah. Um.
So
Yeah. I mean, but like, if people don't know what this thing is, right? It could be anything. It's just
yeah,
big.
so
That's what people know. Is it's just big.
yeah, it's big. Uh, so like messed up mountain lions up there. Wild boar is also up there, but like
Now maybe
pigs are
Sid.
big, yeah, but they're not like bear big. Like a bear is big, like
Yeah.
real, absolute lad.
Yeah. And Ozark, I think, is out to the west of us. It's like it's like kind of Montana area, I think. I don't know where the Ozark is, but it's out west,
Southern Missouri to North Arkansas,
southern
I
Missouri to
think.
north
Anyway, that's where
Arkansas.
this creature's been spotted, but also in Oklahoma and Texas. So like,
Okay, so it is in the west. I was gonna say like I thought it was a little more north. I thought maybe there's some grizzly bears in the area, maybe. But
There might be.
I don't
Oklahoma
think
and
so.
Texas are a little south for bears, though.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So that's kind
Yeah.
of an interesting little maybe
They were like wild boar. Also, you get bison is another one, which
bison.
bison would track.
Anyone
Because,
say
like,
bird?
no. No,
No.
they didn't. No,
You
they did
don't think
not.
that its huge silhouette might just be some wings behind it?
I don't know any bird that can make as much of a racket as this thing manages to make.
Oh, there's some birds out there, Sid. There's some birds that do a lot of yelling.
I know. I got some out my window that are yelling.
Yelling right now.
Yelling right now.
Old
You guys
yeller.
can't hear them, but I can. I sure can.
That's
They are yeller. They are yeller birds. They are goldfinches.
Oh. All right. Yeah, I mean that's it.
Yeller birds.
Yellow bird. Oh, that
Yellow
them there,
birds.
that's a yellow bird.
It's a yellow bird. Cause like, okay, bison might track. It would be roughly like the same area. You know, they got the horns. They got like the big.
Beefy.
They're beefy. They are. Yes, you can make a burger out of them.
I've had a burger out of them.
I've had a burger out of them. Bison's good.
Bison is
I know
apparently
it's not
like really good for you.
Yeah, it's supposed to be really, really good for you.
I had a bison burger here in Ohio.
Yeah?
Yeah. It was at this place called Old Man's Cave. There's a restaurant nearby, and they were like, here's a bison. And I was like, what? I thought these things were, like, gone. Why do you have one? Why do you have one in Ohio?
Where did you get this?
Where'd you get this? Where'd you get this thing?
Where'd you get this? Where'd it come from? They just got the Ozark Howler.
They got him. That was it.
They got him.
He ventured too far, and that's why there haven't been any recent sightings. Oh, no. Ivor him.
No.
No. Okay, that one
like
might
that.
not make the cut.
I am 2 steps away from being vegetarian, and that statement did not help.
I mean, yeah. I think
Oh my God.
I've been eating vegetarian mostly for, well, until this quarantine thing happened, and then it's like hard to just.
Then things just
Yeah.
got kind of wonky.
Yeah.
I eat local.
Yeah?
Instead of vegetarian for the most part. Like, I get my stuff sourced from around here.
I like to do that in Vermont. It's a lot easier to do that in Vermont. They're real good about that there. That's where I live most of the year, folks. If you weren't aware. Yeah.
It's a little harder around where I am because there's corn. That's pretty much all you got.
Yeah,
that's all we can do.
That's pretty much, it's corn and soybeans.
Yeah, soybean. I'm not a tofu person. I don't like the texture.
Really? I don't like steamed tofu, but I will fuck with some fried tofu. That shit's good. And actually, there's this place that you can order like steamed tofu from, and so it's a lot cheaper to get the steamed tofu. So I just get it and then I fry it.
Power moves.
It's good. You know,
steamed
and
tofu is
you can
really
fry
good.
it yourself. Why not?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of like just cooking stuff at home. Honestly,
Yeah.
If you can get it, just get it and then do it at home.
Do you think the Ozark Howler cooks at home?
He probably does. Like, I imagine that he'd hunt.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know if they're a species or not. Because if they did, I imagine they'd have like little packs and they could just bring some food back for their families.
I think if they're like absolute lads, like if we look at other things in nature that are absolute lads, like grizzly bears and
They'd
polar
have
bears,
to eat a lot of whatever they eat.
Yeah, they eat a lot, but they're also like really solo animals. You know what I mean? Like
That's a good point.
They don't hunt in packs. Unless this thing's a herbivore, I don't think it's in a pack, because the pack mentality is really to protect like prey. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good point. We don't really know what this thing is though, and like the things that we have. Mountain lions are solitary. That's a good point.
Yeah.
I think for the most part, aren't they?
Yes, they are. And
Boars?
then, like, the mom takes care of the kids, but it's like with bears, the mom takes care of the kids.
Mom takes care of the kids until the kids are old enough, and then they gotta go to college and, like, get a job. Freeloaders.
That's what my parents keep saying too.
Yo, the mood. But boars, bison
Oh my god.
aren't. Are
I
you good?
choked on some water.
You're fine. Boars and bison aren't solitary animals. So if this thing would be like a bison type herbivore, like that kind of big, chunky herbivore,
I think.
then it might be a pack animal.
Yeah, maybe.
But like the sightings are solitary.
But I think boars
Oh,
are mostly solitary, actually.
javelinas aren't. Oh, javelinas are smaller though, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm thinking of like non-wild boars because I'm like, usually you keep pigs in like.
Yeah, I wanna know. Yeah, I hate pigs. They're disgusting and terrible animals.
I'm alright with pigs.
They're terrible
They're
animals.
mean.
They will, if you lie down, they'll eat you.
They will, yeah. You gotta be careful, but
They will just eat you. That
yes.
Pigs they'll just eat anything in front of them. They don't care. It's terrifying.
So will chickens, though. To be fair, people forget about that.
Chickens can't eat a whole human, and pigs.
They can eat a whole chicken though, and they will.
Yes, they can and they will. Well, they're dinosaurs, Sid, and maybe the Ozark Howler is too. You know, maybe.
I've watched it. It makes me at least a little uncomfy, but I know that that's how nature works.
Yeah. You've seen a chicken eat a chicken?
Yes.
One time when I was a kid, I used to catch frogs.
Yeah.
And I caught a couple bullfrogs, and I was keeping them in like a little fish tank thing. It was pretty big, they had space. And just there was this one massive one that I caught, and he just ate the smaller one.
Oh my
Straight
God.
up. Just ate him.
I didn't know. Oh. I imagine that would have had to have been at least a little traumatizing for tiny you. Experience?
It was like, well, here's the thing: is I actually didn't see him eat him, but I was like, where did my other frog go? And then I looked at the big frog, and it had a leg sticking out of its mouth, like a little frog leg.
Oh no!
And I was like,
oh no, that's so sad.
I didn't think you'd do that, bud, but okay.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
My brother had a beta fish.
Beta fish. Yeah, they'll tear each other up.
They will. But if you buy them a mirror,
they will. Yeah, they'll fight it.
They'll fight it, and he didn't know this, and he had put his beta fish the background of the tank was a mirror, oof. And he couldn't figure out why the fish was just going absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, they're so territorial, and fish are so stupid.
For an hour or so, he was just squaring up on this mirror.
Yeah. Anyway, I still want to hear more about the Ozark Howler, Sid.
Yeah, we still got one more animal this thing could be.
Oh, yeah?
A hyena. Like an actual hyena.
Just straight up.
That doesn't make any sense.
The U.S. A hyena in the U.S.
Today. Just a hyena. Just hanging out. Having a good time.
Interesting. Where'd it come from? Where'd it go?
Where'd it come from?
Cotton-eyed hyena.
God. I was going to say Ozark-eyed Joe, but that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, well, mine didn't make much more sense, Sid. I'm going to be honest.
We're killing it. We're batting 1,000.
Yeah.
But, people think it could be a hyena because of just specifically because of the sound. Because it's such a unique and weird sound.
Yeah.
That people are like, oh, it has to be a hyena. But then, A, how would a hyena get here?
Yeah.
B, how would a hyena survive here?
Yeah.
I imagine it would be just at least either a little too chilly. It would be that's a weird jump for that hyena to make.
Yeah, maybe in Texas? Maybe?
Maybe.
It'd still be a little chilly,
Even so. Be a little, I think it would just be weird. If you put an animal in an area that animal's not supposed to be in, it knows.
Yeah, they know.
It knows.
Hey, friend, why'd you do this? Hey, bud.
Incorrect.
Put me the fuck back.
Put me back. Unless it's one of those ones that's I got no natural predators, and then just goes nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, like those fish in the river. Which one is the river? It's the big one in the middle of the country. Oh, I forget. Mississippi. That's it. I got it. I got there,
That
guys.
is not the middle of the country.
It's kind of the middle of the country. It's a big river. It goes
Yeah,
down like the 3/4 or whatever. It's not 3/4.
that's a
It's more
good
like
point. You
two.
make a good
It's
point.
like a third. It's a third of the way across.
Like a third of, yeah, yeah. All right, I'm following. I'm
Yeah,
following.
it's a third of the way from the east coast to the west coast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because like kudzu too. To be fair, was one of those species that kind of just like took it over.
Yeah, and the zebra
I think it's
mollusks. We have a lot of invasive species because the U.S. is bad
a
about
lot of
that.
because like you put animals in a place they're not supposed to be, and they're just gonna go, or they're gonna. I mean, either survive or thrive, I guess.
Yep, that's how they do.
That's how they do. I mean, because like, but that begs the question: is the Ozark Howler an invasive species?
I don't know. Like,
Probably.
so I was thinking about this a little bit with our like kind of we always kind of get into this like what could the creature be if it's not the creature, but
Yeah.
like I don't know. There's so many
This
things.
just sounds like a creature.
Yeah,
You
it just
know?
sounds like its own creature, you know? But
Yeah. Like he's just vibing.
like that's one of the things that I think is so interesting about cryptids is there are as someone who has worked in the woods, who has worked in like northern Maine, I've hiked the 100-mile wilderness, which means for 100 miles there's nobody or nothing, but wilderness. And there's a lot of terrifying shit and noises that you hear in the
Yeah.
woods. I feel like there's definitely stuff out there, you know?
I mean, like, Ohio doesn't have a lot of. Well, I mean, it kind of does get a little bit woodsy in parts, but a lot of it is like flat plain lands,
Yes.
and you can just walk for miles. Standing out in a field, you can look in some of that borderline kind of foresty area, and something's in there.
Something is.
Like,
Yeah.
something's in there.
Yeah. There's a lot of interesting stories and we might do a segment on here at some point with like I don't know, creepy woods stories. I have a few
It's like a grab bag
I
of.
have a few myself of encounters I've had. I'll be honest.
I just I just see weird shit sometimes. Like just existing. I'm like that. You know,
Mhm.
corner of the eye kind of moments where you like think you see something but you're not quite sure, and you just know that it's in your best interest to kind of just mosey on out, just to kind of
Yeah.
leave.
Yeah.
Like you should be getting right back on home there. I feel like.
But I think the Ozark Howler is a really interesting thing for that because I think the Ozark is kind of like it's a really woodsy area. It's
Yeah.
like very rural typically. I
Yeah.
think there's a Lake Ozark, and a lot of people like vacation there.
That's possible.
But I don't know much else about the area.
Well, you're not alone in kind of having the Ozark Howler kind of capture your imagination, because it's like there's been a ton of pop culture on this thing as far as like.
Really?
Yeah, actually, because a lot of people look at it and it reminds them of the idea of the Grim, which is like a
Ooh.
black dog or like a black furry animal kind of showing up to signify somebody's death.
Yeah.
Like that's a very common sort of idea. But there's been a ton of books written about the Howler. There's been uh, like a lot of different individual short stories or like smaller novels, where people are like The Adventures of the Ozark Howler, or oh, yeah, by the way, my notes, I wrote this down here. It was Vance Randolph who you can blame for the,
Vance
like, who
Randolph?
coined the term hoo-hoo. Yeah, Vance Randolph.
It came up with the hoo-hoo name?
Yeah, in a book, I'm assuming, called The Ozark Superstitions.
Okay. I was thinking,
Yeah.
I was like, maybe it was some old man was like, that's hoo-hoo. Like, kind of trying to say
Yeah.
that, like, it's a bunch of
It's
nonsense.
nothing,
Yeah. He's like, that's hoo-hoo. And people were like, it's hoo-hoo? And then they kind of ran with it.
Oh my god.
Um,
No, this is like somebody decided that this was going to be this thing's name, and they wrote a whole book about it.
Interesting. Wow.
Yeah, or it was like, so there was that, and then there was also a book called The Hair of the Black Howler,
Ooh.
which kind of painted the Ozark Howler as a
Ooh.
multi-dimensional time-traveling creature.
Oh, so it's a Time Lord.
Yeah, I was about to be like, that sounds like
Doctor
a writable.
Who. It sounds like
Yeah.
you're just ripping off Doctor Who a little bit there.
Sounds like the BBC, doesn't it?
Yeah.
This is before that, though, I think.
Oh, really? Doctor Who's been on since like the 50s or whatever.
Yeah, this is like the 1800s.
Oh, well, yep,
I
okay.
think.
All right.
Yeah, don't quote me. Let me go find a date real quick in my actual. Oh no, it was 1973.
Yep, told you.
Yeah.
Ripping right off Doctor Who. But you know who's not ripping off Doctor Who? MetaZoo. And actually, I've been wanting to talk about this whole episode because it's so cool. So they have just sent me their preliminary sketch for their Ozark Howler art for their cards, and it looks so cool. It's got the horns, it's got the fur, it's got the red eyes. Oh my god, it looks so cool. They said they would premiere it when this episode goes live, um, which is Tuesday, so I believe they'll be posting it there. Um, and so I just wanted to talk a little bit about MetaZoo. Is that okay, Sid? We're gonna dive into this a little bit.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, go to their Instagram page if you're looking for the image.
No, go to their
actually.
Instagram
Yeah.
page.
Because I'm interested in seeing it, and I'm kind of half tempted to ask you to send it to me so I can see it.
Yeah. No. Well, I think I might get permission from them, and we'll see if we can post it on our Instagram page and link them, because their art is so cool, and I want to share their stuff because they're okay. So MetaZoo, we talked about them a little bit last week. Yeah, MetaZoo is a cryptids-based card game rooted in creatures that they call beasties, spells, and artifacts. The first set will include creatures like Bigfoot, Mothman, Jersey Devil, etc., including our boy, hopefully, the Ozark Howler. And what sets them apart really is that they have a mechanic of breaking the fourth wall, which means that your spells and creatures are buffed or nerfed by the environment that you're playing in, which is super cool. That's so cool. So if you're playing on a rainy day, your water beasties and spells get a power boost. If you're playing next to an open fire while it's snowing outside, then your fire beasties will get a buff, but the snow outside also boosts the strength of your opponent's snow beasties. So,
Hey, quick question. I know that this is an interjection. Can I start a fire in order to get my fire beasties a boost? Can I do that?
Yeah.
If I just carry a lighter?
Yeah, you can do. I guess.
Absolutely.
I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. it might be called
We've
arson,
discussed.
but it could also be called good gameplay.
I'm not saying I'm going to burn anything down. I'm saying, like, if you got a lot of scented candles in your house, you just, like, have one out and you're like, oh, it's so nice to have you guys over for game night. I'm just gonna light this candle really quick, fire boost, and then just destroy your friends. Yeah, absolutely.
So this added level of meta means that choosing your battleground to best suit your deck, or rapidly building a deck to suit your environment, is a key feature of the game. And honestly, that's so cool. It's so cool to me that is the feature of the game. And so you can follow MetaZoo on their Instagram, which we will link in our post on our Instagram, and you can go support them at their Kickstarter page. If you look up Kickstarter/MetaZoo or Kickstarter/MetaZoo Games, you will find them immediately, and we will link everything in the description below. I'm thrilled about this card game. I'm already supporting them, and I think that you guys should be too. Alright, Sid, so that's MetaZoo. Let's get back to the Ozark Howler.
Yeah.
I still want to hear about this boy and what he's up to.
Well, so
have there been any sightings?
Yes,
that are recorded? I would love to hear about those.
I was just about to get to those. Because, like, well, the Ozark Howler in like description kind of captured the public eye because people were like, "Dang, that would be such a cool thing to write a book on." There's one particular sighting that
Mm-hmm.
was Daniel Boone, and he was said to have seen the creature in Missouri in the early 1800s and attempted to fire at it. Like he was on some type of hunting expedition, so he sees the thing. And first off, you have to appreciate the commitment to seeing like a horrifying giant bear-like beast with red eyes and being like, you know what? I'm gonna shoot at it. Like,
Yeah, interesting. I was
that's
like, Daniel
commitment.
Boone sounds really familiar. So I looked him up, and he's an American pioneer, woodsman, and frontier explorer.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Glad I'm on the same page there, and I hope I could fill in our audience a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I know that I was like, that sounds weirdly familiar. And then, yeah.
No. No. Yeah.
Yeah. So we got it.
Yeah, we got it. He attempted to fire at it. There's no evidence the beast ever died. So, like, he did fire at it, like, attempted multiple shots. Uh, the creature was never found. Like, it never died. There was no trophy of it ever found. Like, people have sculpted busts of the Ozark Howler, absolutely, where they've, like, kind of mocked up, or, like, mocked up a face, I guess, or kind of, like, made what would be kind of similar to mounting a deer head on your wall, but, like, with
With the metal and of a creature.
with metal and fur and things like that to create like what would look like the Ozark Howler.
Yeah.
But there's no like real body of the beast that was ever found, which either means A, he missed, or B, very similar to last week with tanking a cannonball, the Ozark Howler just ate the bullets. Just like fired at him and just ate him up real quick and then left.
Yeah, maybe he vored those too.
Yeah, which
I hate saying that, but
interesting
maybe he did.
superpower.
Maybe he just gulped him right down. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Boone
Right
did live from 1734 to 1820. So, I mean, guns were not great
Yeah,
back
no.
then.
But it still would have done damage, you know?
Yeah.
Like they would really yeah.
Well, I mean, about accuracy, the guns weren't great.
Oh, no, accuracy bad, but damage
Accuracy bad. Damage high.
high.
The stats on these things, whack.
Well, I mean, like with a bow and arrow, you can get like an accuracy buff if you're willing to like attune to it, but like the damage is a little less than a gun, but you can't really aim that all that great, you know?
Yeah, because even if you point it correctly, like these things just shot like balls of lead, and if there's like any dent in the ball of lead, then it's going a different direction than you pointed the gun.
Yeah.
Like
I can't
don't think you were
imagine
even
that's...
like in the 1700s to the like 1800s. I don't know if you were even entirely safe being behind the gun. You know what I mean?
That's a good point. Yeah, no, probably not. I thought you were about to say, I'm not entirely sure you were alive to remember that. And I was like, yeah, pretty sure you weren't either. Like, don't... I don't know, but...
No, I was. I remember it. Clearly.
Yeah.
I remember
I'm
Daniel
a little
Boone.
too young for that. Yeah. I'm a little too young for that.
Okay, other fun facts about Daniel Boone. Okay, I swear this is the only one. He has a sibling. He has a sibling whose name is Squire.
What?
Yeah, his. I'm looking this guy up because Squire Boone is a great name.
That's way cooler. Anybody looking for baby names, name your kid Squire.
Yeah, apparently he did a lot more than. Apparently he did a lot more than Daniel, but Daniel's a little more well known. Yeah, he was a doctor and a lawyer, but you didn't need credentials to be a doctor back then.
Hang on, they had 2 kids. I don't know how many children the Boone family had, but I'm assuming. So they have these 2 sons, yeah, and
they have. Well, there's more. So there's Squire Boone, Hannah Boone, Elizabeth Boone, Samuel Boone, Jonathan Boone, Israel Boone, Edward Boone, Mary Boone, George Boone. The families were big back then. There's a lot of Boones.
Yeah.
There's a Boone Boone.
Oh, you could say it was a boon of children.
Yeah, That's the joke I
I
was
sure
trying
could.
to make, but you executed it a lot better than I did.
We got there. Took 2 of us, but we got there.
Took 10 minutes and 2 brains, but we got there.
We got there. We got there. It took me a second to, but we're good. No, okay, hang on. First off, most of those names sound like pretty like standard names. Like I would not be shocked to hear anybody with those
Right?
names today.
Daniel. I think
And
they're
they
all
just
like
named one of their
biblical.
kids.
Except
Probably.
Squire.
I'm not, yeah, Squire, and I'm not sure if Hannah's biblical, but don't quote me.
Pretty sure. Okay, that's one of the things. Is
Is
like,
it?
yeah, like
That's like the Tiffany paradox, isn't it? Where like Tiffany was a common name in medieval times.
yeah, no, there were a lot of names, like biblical names for women were like really like standard names by like today's. Like Elizabeth and like Mary, right? Like all the guys were named like Jazaroth.
Josh.
And then there's like his wife Hannah.
Oh my god. That really does just sound like a snapshot of my freshman year engineering course.
Okay. All right.
No, I got into freshman year engineering. Okay. As soon as, like, okay, I went to a pretty small high school, you know?
Yeah.
Then you go and you go to college. Yeah, we went to the same high school. Pretty small high school. And then you go to college and you realize there are people coming from, like, classes of 1,000, and that's just bonkers to me.
I went to a small college, so I don't actually know.
I went to a pretty big. I go to a pretty big college, or like just a college that was bigger than my high school, which isn't like a high bar to jump. But
my
you
college
get
is
into
weirdly
like,
the same size as our high school.
is it really?
Yep.
Oh my god,
it's weird. It's really
That's
weird.
Tiny. That's so tiny.
Yeah. No, like.
God, our high school was small. Yeah.
Actually, it's like twice the size because the undergrad program is about this.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that you got to put a grad program in there somewhere.
Yeah, they have a grad program.
I mean, they don't have to, but
it's about double the size. Well, yeah, no, my college is relatively small.
You get into a bigger area, and then I started meeting, like, you meet people, and I am bad with names. Like, I am unbelievably bad with names.
Wait.
But then you get to meeting.
Sid, are you saying that there was someone in your freshman year,
my freshman year
engineering
class,
course,
his name was
Jazaroth?
That was the last name. Yeah.
A real
I'm
last
not
name?
even kidding you. A real last name.
Jazaroth.
Yes.
I made that up on the spot. I didn't know.
Oh, I thought it was biblical because I was like, no, there literally was somebody in my class who had that as their last name, and instead of, like, I think their first name was like, I don't remember because I'm bad with names. Something like that. But they went by their last name. Like, they went by...
Dude, if my last name was Jazaroth, I'd go by that. That's sick.
Yeah. And the only reason this stuck with me was because I called them Jazzy once, and they glared at me, and I've never been that afraid for my life.
Should have called them Jazz Hands.
I was like, hey, Jazzy, could you pass me that pen? And they were like, absolutely not. I was like, alright, never mind.
My bad. I'm leaving now.
My bad,
Bye.
dude.
Sorry. I fucked up.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
He was a really nice guy, too, and I felt bad about it. But, like, that's the thing. You meet people with, like...
That's actually, like, a biblical thing, though. It's like, yeah. All the guys had, like, whack-ass names, and all the girls are like, Tiffany.
Yeah.
Hannah.
Fucking
Mary.
Cool, though. Honestly, name your kid that. Go for it.
Yeah, name your kid nuts names. I love that.
I think that's so cool. Anybody who has, like, a really unique name, I know that it was probably hard for them in kindergarten, just a little bit, but, like, because I can't spell for shit, you know? But
I can't spell at all. I fuck up my name sometimes, and I've been spelling that since I could spell. And I still can't spell, so...
But, like, unique names are so cool. Like, it's so neat, you know?
I can't spell, but I can spell. It's magic time, baby. Alright, no, that's a lie. I'm so sorry. I lied to you all.
I lied to you all. I have no magic powers. I am simply
But you
immortal.
can spell in MetaZoo. Let's go.
Let's go. No, but like, that's a thing, you know? Oh, no, back to my point on Daniel and Squire Boone. When you tell me that there's Daniel and Squire Boone, Daniel, like, imagine these parents have these two kids and they're like, all right, guys, like, it's time to go to college or like go off into the world and decide what you want to be. What do you want to be? And Squire steps up and he's like, I want to go and I'm going to be a doctor and a lawyer. And his parents are like, absolutely, yeah. And then you go to Daniel, like, Daniel, what are you going to do? And he's like, I'm going to go into the woods
Well,
later, and just
here's
leaves.
the thing. Squire Boone also did that. He was also a frontiersman, and he was, okay, hold on a second. Literally,
Keep
in
going.
his, like, Wikipedia thing, it says he was
Yeah?
a long hunter. I don't even know what that means. He was a long hunter, soldier, city planner, politician, land
Oh my
locator, judge, politician
Judge,
again,
jury, executioner.
politician again, gunsmith. What? And brother of Daniel Boone is. That's his resume
They
right
said,
there. Oh my
they
god.
literally said, go out and do what you want to do. And he said, all right, I'm going to do all of it.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Yeah, anyway,
Imagine.
Squire
And then your
Boone's a man
brother
that
sees
existed.
the weird, like, creature in the woods. Like, that's probably why Squire Boone didn't see it, because he was busy at his, like, 6 side hustles. Like...
Yeah, but Daniel Boone saw it and he was like, I'm not missing this. And he shot at it. And he missed
sure
it.
did. Or he hit it and it just didn't die.
Well, he's not a long hunter. But his brother...
What is a long hunter?
I don't know, maybe a hunter with a long rifle?
All I can think is, like, a hunter that, like, hunts for a really long time. Like, somebody who goes out with the intent of, like,
Maybe he only
coming
hunts...
back for a few days.
Maybe he only hunts long animals.
Also, oh!
Like ferrets.
No! It is a long-time hunter.
Oh, okay.
A long hunter was an 18th century explorer and hunter who made expeditions into the American frontier wilderness for 6 months at a time.
What?
So he would just go into the woods and just, like, exist there for 6 months and then come back.
Maybe that's why Daniel
This is probably...
shot it. Maybe that's why Daniel shot at the Ozark Howler. He was like, fuck you, Squire. I'm gonna get this one. And then he didn't.
He didn't.
He didn't get it.
He didn't.
The Ozark Howler just ate those bullets whole.
Just crunched them. I mean, you could also consider that the Ozark Howler, if they're like spherical shaped, like ball shaped.
Yeah.
Maybe he just wanted to play with them. Maybe he just took them home and, like, made them toys. You know?
Please don't say that, Sid.
What do you mean?
I don't want the image of the Ozark Howler playing with his balls.
No, I was thinking like a dog and a tennis ball, and you just went and ruined it.
I mean, you set me up for it. I told you my mind was in the garbage can this episode, and you...
I asked you to remove your mind from the garbage can, and you just dumped it in there harder.
I took the garbage can and I slam dunked it into a dumpster.
Where you just opened your head like a flip top, and then removed the brain, and then put garbage in there instead.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
also
pretty
an
much
option.
where I'm at.
I just took my brain out and then didn't put anything back. Oh my god. No, I'm really stuck on Daniel and Squire Boone now. I think this
really
is bonkers.
am too.
You could make an absolute total cartoon series about Daniel and Squire Boone's adventures. Well, Daniel, like a Phineas and Ferb kind of setup, but it's Daniel Boone and the Ozark Howler as, like, Daniel keeps pointing, he's like, there it is, there's the Howler! And then Squire's like, there's nothing there, Daniel. And that's the whole cartoon.
Wow, okay, so the Ozark Howler is Phineas and Ferb, and
yes.
Daniel is Candace.
Is Candace, yeah. And Squire's like...
Squire's the mom.
The mom, and he's just tired at this point. They've been hunting for 6 months. Daniel keeps telling him that he sees something. There's nothing there. There's never anything there.
Well, Daniel is not a long hunter. That's not on his resume here that I'm looking at right now.
No.
I think Daniel just had that kind of like sibling rivalry with Squire, and he was like, this is something Squire hasn't shot yet. and I'm gonna do it. And then he didn't do it. I bet he didn't even
do it.
tell Squire that he saw it.
He told somebody that he saw it, because we know that he saw it. So somebody knows something, but...
Yeah, somebody knows something. And you know what I know, Sid?
Knows something.
You know what I know,
What do you
Sid?
know?
I know that it's about time to wrap this episode up.
Damn. Well, that just fit in right perfectly, didn't it?
I know. I'm so good at the segues.
Yeah.
Like,
incredible.
I can ride on those two-wheel handlebar monstrosities all day long.
Oh my god. It took me a second. I was like...
Yeah. But
I'm
yeah,
gonna be totally real with you. I've never seen a Segway in real life.
Really?
But I haven't. Do you know what I have seen? I've seen our Twitch stream every Thursday.
Every Thursday
from 8 to 10.
From 8 to 10 every
Eastern
Thursday.
Standard Time.
And you know what? I've also started doing my own solo stream. So if you want to hang out with me, I know it's less exciting than the both of us, but you know, I'm out here every Saturday from 8 to 10 as well. I like to do little fun games. I do some competitive Overwatch, and sometimes I'll just surprise you with some other fun games that I've found. But yeah.
Yeah, your gameplay is probably a lot more interesting. Speaking of games, if you guys do want to come by our mid-stream, which is this Thursday, again, 8 to 10.
Yeah, come by with
Eastern
questions
Standard.
about the Ozark Howler. There's so much more to tell.
We'd love to answer your questions.
We would love to. We'd love to just sit and chat or talk about this episode. Come on by. We are streaming. What was it again, Sid?
This Thursday, we will be streaming Wizard 101.
Oh, fabulous.
We both went back
fabulous.
And found our old, we have old accounts. Mine's from 2011.
Yeah.
And I think yours is almost just as old. But we will be evaluating the game. We'll be evaluating our houses.
Yeah, come.
And just
come
generally
join
hanging
us.
out with you guys. Come join us. Come say hi. And if you guys want to interact with us in ways that aren't that, we have our Twitter and Instagram pages. We have the Cryptids on Cryptids Twitter, which is at On Cryptids.
Yep. We tweet there regularly. Updates and everything for the podcast, and our Twitch information also goes up on there whenever we're streaming. So if you want updates and you want to be notified, go follow us there and hit the little notification icon, and you will get those updates in real time.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention, the Twitch channel itself is through the Midcast, so it will be MYDCAST, the Midcast.
Yeah.
And we do have an Instagram page as well. We have the Midpoint Podcast Instagram page, which is MYD with a period.
A little funky little play on words there.
Yeah.
MYD period podcasts on Instagram and at On Cryptids on Twitter. Follow us there for all your notifications. We post every time that an episode goes up. We post when we're streaming and stuff like that. So yeah, it's good to get those notifications, and it'll help you. If you want to tweet at us, tweet with the hashtag CryptidsOnCryptids, and we will see it, and we would love to shout you out in the show if you guys are tweeting about us. Honestly, let's get this show out there. And I also want to say one more thank you to our partner for this week, MetaZoo Games.
Yes.
We will link them in the description below. Again, they make a fantastic art, and their concept is so cool. So again, let's go support them on Kickstarter and all that stuff. They go live with their Kickstarter at the end of this month. But you can follow their Kickstarter to get updates and stuff like that right now.
Yeah.
So go do that.
And yeah. But thank you guys so much again for listening and supporting us. Thank you to those who did come out for the stream last week, even though we forgot to tweet it out. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, we tweeted it out about halfway through. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. Thank you, Creamsicle Dream and Dismingus, who are just going off in the chat. We love to see it.
Yeah. You love to see it.
Love to see it.
love to see it.
All right.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening and supporting, and
We'll see y'all in the woods.